Guys, I know I've already dropped 2 videos where I basically said that characters are frauds. Gojo, Sukuna. But I mean this with 100% certainty. Kashimo is the biggest fraud in JJK. So I just finished reading chapter 238 and bro, the way that Gigi wrote Kashimo is hurting my soul, bro. We really got hyped up ever since that Where's Sukuna panel. That Sukuna and Kashimo were actually gonna have like a cool, like basically like an in-depth fight. Like Kashimo was gonna do his thing. Like I ain't gonna lie, I don't think any of us really thought Kashimo was gonna win. If you thought Kashimo was gonna win, more power to you, but that man was obviously gonna get cooked. But I didn't think he was gonna get cooked this bad. This man got cooked in 2 chapters, bro. This is the 2nd chapter. The last chapter was kind of cool because we saw like Kashima go into his form or whatever, and then we saw Sukuna go into his true form from back in his era, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick. And it was cool to watch Sukuna dog Kashimo, but like Kashimo was so disappointing. But let's get into the chapter. So once again, if you don't want to get spoiled, click out this video. I appreciate you coming in. I'm gonna be going over fan translations from the JJK and Discord server and stuff like that. I won't be showing a lot of the panels. I'm gonna be showing some of them, but I don't want to show too much because this is leaks. The official chapter is not out yet, and I don't want this video to get cooked. So let's get into it. So the chapter starts off with Kashimo looking at Sukuna after Sukuna transformed back into his old form, and Kashimo began to analyze Sukuna with his x-rays, and what they showed him was absolute perfection. Bro, I'm telling you right now, the glazing that Kashimo does for Sukuna this chapter is insane, but we're gonna get into it more, right? So in this chapter they talk about how Sukuna is basically the perfection of a sorcerer, because one, he has multiple mouths and he has multiple hands. And that already, you're not thinking like, nah, that's like whatever. But in Jujutsu Kaisen, him having another mouth that can literally say out chants, and then also having 2 arms so he can do like chants with his hands and then also fight with the other 2 hands, makes him a peak sorcerer in terms of not even just like his cursed energy, reverse curse technique, his domain expansions, and like everything like that. It also makes him a peak fighter because he can use everything a sorcerer can at the most absolute perfection. Think of every other sorcerer like having a max of 100%. You could say other characters like Gojo are like 120%. Think of Sukuna being able to use the max capabilities of a sorcerer at like maybe like 200% in my opinion. And so once again, Giga is just putting it down for us that, guys, this is the strongest character in the show. There's just no other debate, and it's sad because Gojo was my guy, but we're just seeing more and more that Sukuna is that guy. And so Kashimo's like, oh my god, this power is so incredible. He destroyed all those families back in the day, like the Fujiwara, and he's just crazy. And he says, how can it be so beautiful? When he said that, bro, I knew it was over. I was like, pack it up, bro. Pack it up, bro. How you gonna say that about your combatant, bro? Like, oh, he's so beautiful. I was like, bro, you've been glazing. Like, he's been glazing and asking a lot of questions ever since the last chapter. Even the last chapter, he was asking him like, how do you feel about love and stuff like that. And even Sukuna's gonna talk about it more and more, how he feels about love. But it's like, Kashimo, weren't you like, wasn't your goal to just fight this man, the strongest man ever? What are you doing all this glazing for, bro? Fight him, please. Fight back, please. And so as soon as that happens, Kashimo like charges in on Sukuna, and Sukuna is bodying the fuck out of him. You could even see it with the way Giga draws it. He's hitting him like 2-4 times at one time. And what I mean by that is like, he's punching him with 2 to 4 arms at one time, bro. And so Kashimo's like actually getting cooked, right? And so Kashima shoots like this, I think, electricity beam at Sukuna, and Sukuna starts chanting. And you see that it's like the thing that's talking is the mouth on his stomach. So that thing is talking and even says like, you should dodge this, and then does a full chant of the slash, which is called like his dismantle slash. And even Kashimo says like, this is the slash that ended Gojo. Like, this is the slash that can like pierce through everything. There's a lot of debates about if it's pierced through time or whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Just Sukuna's strongest slash that killed Gojo. That's what it is. Another thing that was funny is that even Sukuna's like, you should dodge this, bro. Like, that's, bro, Sukuna's slowly starting to like grow more and more on me about how disrespectful this man is. I'm seeing more and more what the Sukuna fans were going crazy on the comments, bro. Because this chapter, he was really bitching Kashimo, bro. we gotta get into it. I gotta keep getting distracted. Let's keep going. And so Sukuna says, there was this fool who wanted to tell me about love. She said I didn't know love, that there was no one on the same level as me, so I must have been lonely. I understand what she meant, of course, but it was strange hearing her say that I didn't know. She should have delivered that message to someone else, like Gojo. And then Sukuna says, it's not that people like you don't know it, you just don't understand it. And then Kashima's like, what are you trying to say, bro? And then Sukuna's like, you were strong, right? And then right after that, Sukuna like charges after Kashimo and starts putting more of the hands on him, right? And Sukuna's beating the brakes off of him. You could literally see like Kashimo getting sent back, right? And he starts to like charge another blast at Sukuna, and bro, this is when it's over. This is when this man is really cooked. This is when he's really a fraud. Because I'm guessing Sukuna shot like, you know, his dimension time / whatever, his godlike dismantle at Kashimo. Like when he sent it, it looks like a net. Like you can literally see like multiple slashes, and that man's cooked, right? This man was so cooked that this man went to another dimension. I don't know what's up with Sukuna and sending people to other dimensions when he beats them, right? Like I remember when he beat Jogo, and then he was like in this afterlife kind of thingy and talking to Jogo and saying like, I'm so like, you are a proud warrior and shit like that. And so he also sent Kashimo to like that afterlife thingy where they're talking, which I think is hilarious that just Sukuna has a habit of just doing that. He be putting niggas in the I beat you genjutsu and I'm gonna give you a pep talk type shit. And so Sukuna says, I'm sure you had many strong challengers. They'd put their heart and soul into it. They didn't necessarily come to curse you. No, they wanted to be acknowledged by you. They wanted to learn what their lives amounted to. And you killed them with your own hands. You asked me how I create bonds or show affection for others. If this isn't kindness and affection, then what is it? That's kind of hard, where he's basically saying, if I'm giving you my attention, if I'm running the brakes on you and giving you a fight, like that's the greatest affection you can ever give. Why do you need love or something like that? That is my love, basically, is what he's saying. And he's like, we are loved simply because we are strong. In return, we answer it with love. Yet you were still crying about being alone. That's why I called you extravagant. And then Kashima was like, are you truly satisfied with this? Why did you split your soul and traverse time as a cursed object then? And then Sukuna says, it is precisely because I understand it that I can proclaim that love is meaningless. I never once thought I needed someone else to satisfy me. If I want to eat, I eat. If it annoys me, I kill it. If it's interesting, I play with it. And Kashima was like, don't you lose the flavor if you like do that? If you like act so dead ass? I'm simply living the life that matches my worth. If that's strange to others, then it's a problem for them. Like Sukuna's basically saying that like, that's how I feel, and if no one else agrees with me, then you can die, basically. He don't really care how other people feel or is affected by other people's feelings. And the Sukuna says that's impossible. The flavors of humanity last only an instant, but they are numerous and varied. They're enough to suck on and kill time before I die. Where I think he's basically saying that he is satisfied just by making humans unhappy or fighting other people. That's his like way of having affection, I guess, or finding the love, or because, you know, people want to feel needed. All of us want to be feel needed. All of us want to have love or affection from others, or maybe from one person. And I think he's saying that he gets that same satisfaction or affection by just fighting people that he wants to fight, or doing whatever he wants to do and living the way he wants to live, and that he doesn't get bored. He doesn't get burnt out of doing that type of stuff, because humanity is so diverse that there's always going to be something new that's going to interest him, which I think was really fascinating to see. I like that take from Sukuna, because for a person as me that suffers from a lot of burnout, it's just interesting when I see people that don't suffer from burnout at all. You can let me you can let me know in the comment section down below if y'all suffer from burnout, especially like burnout with anything, burnout with games, burnout with people, burnout with work and stuff like that. I suffer from burnout a lot. And so hearing about a character that can't suffer from burnout at all, or even some of y'all that don't suffer from burnout, is just really fascinating to me. And so after that, at this point, we haven't seen Kashimo's dead body, but that man's cooked. Like, there's no way he survived all of them slashes unless somehow he turned himself into a lightning, like, organism, like a small pixel of lightning, and dodged the space-time slash or whatever, but I don't think so. That man's cooked. And then we see actually the domain that Hikari and Urumi was in actually breaks. And we see that Hikari and Urumi are fine. Like, they're both like, they don't look like they took any damage. And then we get the panel, bro. This is gonna be so hype, bro. We finally get to see Yuji and Higuruma show up on the battlefield. And then Sukuna's like, what can you do, brat? And it's about that time, guys. Jump Kaisen is back, bro. We're finally getting the jumpings again. We haven't seen a jumping since, well, from the main cast, like Yuji and stuff, for a minute now. And the last jumping we saw was when Sukuna jumped Gojo with Agito and Maharaga. So seeing Yuji and then Higurumura about to jump Sukuna, I don't think they're gonna be really doing shit for real. There's no way. I don't think there's any way they're gonna beat Sukuna unless like Yuji just brings something up his ass. But then again, Higurumura could use his domain expansion and then put Sukuna in the courtroom. I want to know how that's gonna work. Is Sukuna gonna have like some hacks where he can just beat the because if I remember correctly, let me know in the comment section down below. Higurumura does like the whole like domain expansion where he puts them like in the court, right? And then he asks them questions, and he can't be attacked or they can't be hurt, I believe. I don't remember. Could he be hurt in the domain expansion? Because if he can, I have to go back and reread that fight. If he can, then like it doesn't really matter. I want to see the point of using that. But I remember when he did that, when Higurumura fought Yuji, that he also gets like this extinction thing where if he attacks anybody, I guess with curse energy, they just die. I have to reread it. I'm gonna reread it. Also, anything y'all put, let me know down in the comment section down below. I would love to, if y'all can refresh my memory before I go reread it. But I want to see what's gonna happen. This is gonna be very, very interesting. And also, I want to see what Yuji's gonna do. Yuji gotta run the brakes, bro. We haven't seen Yuji run the brakes in a minute, bro. And also, Yuji's like the only person I've seen so far that whenever Sukuna was throwing slashes at him, he like still fell down, but he was kind of eating them slashes. So I want to see what he's gonna do just fighting Sukuna in his prime form. This is prime Jordan Sukuna, right? And I want to just see what Yuji's gonna do. And Hikari and Urumi are out the domain expansion, so maybe it could be a three-way pause. Maybe it could be a jump Kaizen with Hikari, Higurumura, and Yuji versus like Sukuna and Urumi, or just Sukuna or whatever. But I'm so excited. Also, JJK is going to be on break for a week, so we're not going to get a JJK chapter next week, which makes me sad. But we have had JJK, I think we had 3 or 4 JJK chapters back to back, so I can't be mad. And I'm going to let Giga cook. But that's it for this video. Leave a like, subscribe to see more content like this, and hit that bell to post it consistently. And let me know down below what you think about this chapter. Please tell me what you think about this chapter. And also let me know what I said earlier about the burnout and Higurumura's ability in his domain expansion, because I kind of forgot what it was, but I'm gonna definitely have to go reread that fight with him and Yuji. Very, very excited for the next chapter. And I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace.